Humanity has always believed that knowledge is power. That truth is worth any price. That uncovering what hides in the dark is heroic. Humanity is wrong. Long before cities rose or languages formed, the first humans opened a door they were never meant to find. Curiosity sliced the world open. Something watched from the other side. Something ancient that saw the future humans would build, and the destruction they would unleash with what they learned. The universe needed a counterweight. A deal was made. Whenever a human approached a forbidden truth, a piece of knowledge sharp enough to cut existence itself, the door would tremble. Reality would warp. Warnings would be ignored. So the collectors were born. They walk the world as ordinary. Their faces forgettable. Their presence disguised as coincidence. They guard the boundary between what humans are allowed to know, and what will burn their world alive. Every truth has a cost. Every discovery echoes. Every person too curious for their own good, simply disappears. Their names dissolve from memory. Their footprints vanish from history. Their lives are harvested to keep the door sealed. The collectors do not punish. They protect. Because the day humans learn everything is the day nothing survives. Zara Quinn had seen her fair share of corrupted files. Deleted fingerprints, rearranged timestamps, missing witnesses, sloppy attempts at hiding the truth. Most cover-ups were human. Predictable. Boring. This one felt surgical. A missing persons report with no person attached. No name, no photo, no family contact. Just a date, a case number, and a single line in the incident notes. Subject was taken. All records cleansed. Taken by who? There was no officer signature. No digital trace of who created the file. The screen flickered each time Zara tried to reopen it, as if the system wanted to fold in on itself and pretend she had imagined everything. She printed the page before it vanished again. Her boss, Chief Ellery, caught the corner of her eye. He walked past her desk with that forced calm that only people hiding something wear. Zara slid the printout under a folder. She waited until he disappeared into his office. Then she grabbed her coat. If the file refused to give her data, she would hunt down reality instead. The last known coordinates led Zara to a suburban street washed in late evening shadows. Houses here looked copy-pasted. Lawns trim, windows dark. No movement. No sound. Even birds avoided this place. Zara knocked on the door connected to the address. A woman answered, pale fingers gripping the frame too tightly. "Can I help you?" she asked, voice stretched thin. "I'm following up on a missing persons lead," Zara replied. "Do you know who lived here before you?" The woman's eyes flashed panic. Her head jerked in a tiny shake. "No. We've always lived here." Zara held up the paper. "This report was filed 3 weeks ago." The woman stared at it. Her expression softened into confusion. This doesn't make any sense. I don't remember anyone missing." A tear slid out before she could blink it back. "Why can't I remember?" The lights in the house flickered. The woman gasped and slammed the door. Zara stepped back as something cold spiraled down the street. A shadow, but not a shadow. A presence, bending the air. She felt eyes watching her from nowhere and everywhere. Suddenly her phone buzzed. Unknown number. One new message. "Look behind you." Her breath froze. She turned. A figure stood across the road, too still, too polite. Dressed like a neighbor arriving for tea. No footsteps. No sound. Just a small smile. The collectors had noticed her. And she had just become the next case that shouldn't exist. Zara didn't run at first. Shock glued her to the pavement while the polite stranger watched her from across the street. His perfectly pressed suit didn't move in the wind. His smile didn't shift. His eyes, flat and empty like he was wearing a face that didn't belong to him. The phone buzzed again. "Stay quiet." Zara swallowed the scream trying to claw its way up her throat. Her legs remembered how to work and she walked, casual, don't show fear, toward her car. The street lamps flickered the farther she got. The world dimming one light at a time. She unlocked the door and slid inside, locking it with a shaky jab of her thumb. Her heartbeat pounded against the steering wheel. The figure didn't chase her. That almost made it worse. They didn't need to. Back home, Zara checked every lock twice before sinking into her chair. The printout of the nameless file lay on the desk like an accusation. Her laptop chimed. A new folder appeared. She hadn't clicked anything. Hadn't touched the keyboard. The folder name. Stop looking. Every file inside was corrupted. Black screens. Glitching symbols. Except one. A video. Zara hovered a trembling finger and pressed play. Static hissed. The image stabilized into a dark room. Concrete walls. A single chair. A man sat strapped to it, head hanging low. His chest rose with shallow breaths. "Hello." Zara whispered into the silence. The man's head snapped up. Terror twisted his face. Eyes wide. As if he could see her watching. He mouthed a single word. "Run." The screen exploded into pixels then went black. Her phone buzzed again. Final warning. The lamp beside her flickered, then died. The air grew thick. Heavy. Like darkness was learning to breathe. A knock echoed through her apartment. Not frantic. Not desperate. Polite. 3 slow taps. As if whoever stood there had all the time in the world. Zara grabbed the nearest object, a flashlight, and crept toward the door. She looked through the peephole. No one was there. Then the knock sounded at the back door. Her phone chimed, lighting up her face. A new message. "You are on the list." Something scratched along the outside wall. Something that moved without footsteps. Zara backed away, breath shaking, pulse sharp. The collectors were done watching. Now they were coming. Zara didn't remember falling asleep. One moment she was pressed against her living room wall, flashlight raised like a pathetic weapon. The next, silence. Morning light crawling across the floor. Her phone dead, battery drained overnight. No scratches on the walls. No broken doors. No proof. She hated how easily fear could be dismissed when the sun came up. She powered the phone back on. All the threatening messages were gone. No unknown number in her history. No video file. Nothing. Like she dreamt every horrifying second. Except for one thing. The printed case file wasn't where she left it. A new sheet of paper sat beside it, warm like someone had just set it down. A set of GPS coordinates. She stared at them, debating sanity versus curiosity, then grabbed her keys. It wasn't courage. It was obsession. Same difference. The coordinates led her to an abandoned phone booth deep in Riverside Park. Ivy wrapped around the glass like nature wanted to hide it away. Zara approached slowly. She heard it before she reached the door. Breathing. She stepped inside. The air tasted colder here. A phone hung from the receiver, the cord swinging. The breathing pulsed louder. Zara lifted the receiver to her ear. "Hello," she whispered. Static crackled. A voice pushed through. "You should have stopped." Deep, fraying around the edges like it barely existed. "They are searching for you now." "Who is this?" Zara asked. "My name," the voice glitched, warping into a digital scream. "They took it. They took everything. You have to run." Her fingers tightened around the phone. "I saw a video of a man strapped to a chair." "Was that you?" Silence. Then. "I was supposed to expose them." The voice trembled with terror. "I got too close. Please, you must listen. They are not human." Zara's chest constricted. "Then what are they?" The voice broke into whispers. "They are the correction. We are the errors." Suddenly the park lights shut off. Darkness swallowed the booth. A shadow pressed against the glass outside. The breathing on the line hitched. "You're out of time." The call ended. Zara turned slowly. A collector stood inches away from her on the other side of the glass. Same polite suit. Same borrowed smile. Only now, cracks split along its cheeks like porcelain tearing apart. Its hand tapped the glass. Tap. 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 Slow. Patient. Hungry. Zara shoved the door open and sprinted through the park, lungs burning, mind fracturing with questions she didn't want answers to. She didn't stop running until she reached the streetlights, signaling a return to normalcy that felt like a lie. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. One new image. A photo of her standing inside the phone booth, taken from inches behind her. Zara stared at the empty park. She wasn't just being watched. She was being hunted. Zara crashed into her office with adrenaline still scraping her nerves raw. She wasn't supposed to be here today, but routine felt like a shield. Familiar walls, familiar screens, familiar lies. Chief Ellery stood near her desk, holding the corrupted case file she had printed. "You shouldn't be looking into that," he said. Zara's pulse spiked. "How did you even find that?" "You left it out," he replied calmly. Too calmly. His eyes didn't match his voice. They never blinked. "Some files disappear for a reason, Zara." "People disappear for a reason," she shot back. Ellery stepped closer. His smile stretched just a little too wide. "Curiosity kills careers." Her hand slid to her bag where the flashlight, her ridiculous self-defense weapon, rested. She didn't know if he noticed. She didn't care. "I'm taking the rest of the day," she said, forcing her legs to move. "I have things to check on." She expected him to argue. He didn't. "You should say goodbye to your mother," he said. Her blood went ice cold. "I never mentioned my mother," she whispered. Ellery blinked once. Too slow. Too unnatural. Zara bolted. Traffic blurred around her as she sped toward her mother's house. Every second felt like a countdown. She jumped out of the car before it fully stopped. The door was unlocked. "Mom." Zara called. The kitchen light flickered. The air smelled faintly of ozone and burnt wires. Zara stepped inside, heart punching against her ribs. Her mother sat perfectly still at the dining table. Hands folded. Eyes straight ahead. Smile thin as paper. "Hi, sweetheart," she said. Zara's breath trembled. "Mom, why are you sitting like that?" "You came to say goodbye," her mother replied. "I did." Zara's voice cracked. Her mother's head twitched like something was adjusting controls from the inside. "You always said you feared dying alone." "You won't." Zara stumbled back. "Where is she?" The smile never changed. The voice did. "Gone." Collected. She knew too much. "You pushed her." The smile stretched wider, skin creasing wrong. "Your mother wasn't strong enough to forget." Tears stung Zara's eyes. "Give her back." The creature inside her mother tilted its head, studying her. "You are next." Its voice layered into something ancient. "There will be no memory of you. No grief. That is mercy." Zara grabbed the chair and hurled it through the sliding glass door. Shards scattered like fleeing birds. She ran. The impersonator didn't chase. It watched her escape, head bent, like it was learning how to be human more convincingly. Zara collapsed into her car, sobs and panic twisting together. Her phone buzzed. One new text. "She still remembers you." A location followed. Coordinates. A place. A chance. Zara wiped her tears. She hated hope. It made the pain sharper. She started the engine. If there was the slightest possibility her mother was alive, Zara would tear open heaven and hell both to get her back. The collectors wanted her ignorant. She was done obeying. The coordinates led Zara beneath the city. Forgotten tunnels. Sealed maintenance routes the public wasn't supposed to know existed. She parked near an old drainage entrance, its gate twisted open like something had forced its way in, or out. Her flashlight cut through the dark. Damp air clung to her throat. Footsteps echoed, hers, she hoped. Far ahead, a square of faint light glowed. A hidden facility. Unlocked. As if expecting her. She slipped inside. Cold white lights hummed overhead. Metal doors lined the corridor, each marked with symbols that rippled like they refused to stay still. A voice echoed from deeper in the hall. Zara Quinn. She froze. A man in a rumpled suit stepped out of the shadows, hands raised. He looked exhausted, terrified, human. "My name is Agent Rowan," he said. "I'm with the Division of Containment. We've been tracking the collectors longer than anyone." Zara kept her distance. "Your people let them take my mother." Rowan flinched. "We don't let them do anything. We try to reduce the damage. By covering up their crimes. By preventing panic." His voice cracked. "The entire world is one truth away from collapse." Zara wanted to scream. "Where is she?" Rowan swallowed. "Alive, for now. They store individuals whose memories contain destabilizing information. The moment she remembers too much, they erase her." He motioned toward a sealed steel door. "You need to see this." Zara hesitated, then followed. Inside was a long viewing window overlooking a massive chamber lined with pods. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Human silhouettes floated inside, suspended in a strange silver fluid. Zara pressed her palm to the glass. All these people, they were taken. Yes. Rowan's jaw tightened. Scientists, journalists, witnesses. Anyone who threatened the boundary. Her knees weakened. "This is genocide." "No," Rowan exhaled sharply. "This is sacrifice. Because if even one forbidden truth escapes the vault." He looked genuinely afraid. The door opens. Before Zara could respond, alarms blared. The lights flickered. Rowan's eyes widened. "They're coming." Shadows bled from the corners, peeling into shapes. Polite smiles forming like masks being painted on from the inside. Collectors. Rowan backed up, fumbling for a weapon he didn't seem convinced would matter. "We need to run. They don't want me. They want you." Zara glanced once more at the pods. At the people trapped inside. At the mother she was failing. Anger burned through the fear. "They can't have me," she said. She grabbed Rowan's arm and bolted. Sirens wailed overhead. The corridor pulsed red. A collector materialized in front of them, hand stretching like bone sculpted through skin. Rowan shoved Zara down, taking the blow himself. His scream strangled in his throat as the thing pressed 2 fingers to his temple. Rowan's eyes went hollow. His body dropped. Memory, gone. Identity, gone. Rowan, gone. Zara scrambled up, tears smearing down her face, and ran harder than she ever had. The collectors were faster. She burst through a maintenance hatch and out into night air, lungs ripping for breath. She didn't stop running. Not even when the facility sank into the dark behind her like it had never been there. Not even when a collector's distant voice whispered into her skull. "You know too much." Zara collapsed into the front seat of her car. Her phone buzzed. One message. "You are marked. No sender. No number." Someone writing the script from the inside. Zara wiped her eyes. Pain steadied itself into purpose. If she was marked, so be it. She would mark them back. Zara didn't remember getting home. The drive vanished from her mind as if the road had been erased beneath her tires. Her front door was open. She didn't recall unlocking it. Her reflection in the mirror caught her eye. A symbol etched itself across her skin, right beneath the ear. Thin, black lines like a barcode drawn by an ancient engineer. It pulsed with a cold glow. A mark. Her fingers shook as she traced it. Her phone vibrated violently. Video recording. She hadn't touched it. The screen showed her sleeping earlier that morning. Peaceful. Still. Then her face twitched, and eyes snapped open. Except it wasn't her. The pupils were all wrong. Dilated until they swallowed the irises. Her body sat up with slow, deliberate movements. She lifted the phone. Stared directly into the camera. A voice crawled through the speaker. It is already inside you. Video over. Zara dropped the phone like it burned. Something inside her skull pulsed. Not pain. More like pressure. A presence pushing, searching, surveying her thoughts like it was flipping through pages. She clutched the counter to stay upright. No, she gasped. Get out. The pressure tightened. Memories flickered and vanished. Her childhood home. Gone. Her first friend. Gone. Her favorite teacher's face. Gone. She screamed. Rage and terror twisting together. You want inside? Zara choked out. Then I'll show you why humans fear the dark. She ran to her closet and pulled out an old fireproof case. Inside, the last remnants of her real life. Physical keepsakes the digital world couldn't touch. Photos. Ticket stubs. Letters. Proof that she existed. She scattered them across the table, anchoring herself to each memory like tying knots into her identity. The pressure inside her skull eased. The collectors didn't like that. A sudden knock. 3 taps. Polite. Always polite. Zara held her breath. Quiet. Still. The mark beneath her ear throbbed. Whoever was outside, it knew she was home. Then footsteps walked away. She exhaled shakily. Her phone buzzed again. A text. The mark makes you ours. A second message instantly followed. Unless you remove it. She frowned. How? She whispered. A third message. Find methods that are not human. The lights shut off. Her phone screen dimmed to black. In the dark, something inside her skull laughed. Zara collapsed into a chair. She finally understood. They weren't just hunting her. They were transforming her. She couldn't trust her memories anymore. Couldn't trust her senses. Couldn't trust her own mind. She needed help. Someone hidden. Someone the collectors missed. Someone who knew how to fight them. She grabbed a map. Hands shaking, she penned 3 words across the center. The next target lives. She didn't know who the next target was. But she would find them before the collectors did. Hunters can bleed too. Zara followed the trail of missing persons reports that should not exist. Every erased case pointed toward the outskirts of the city. Deep woods. Forgotten roads. A place the GPS didn't like to acknowledge. Her mark burned hotter the closer she got, like a compass wired into her skull. By the time she reached the clearing, dusk was already settling in. A single cabin waited at the center. Windows boarded shut. Grass dead around the foundation. Silence thick as concrete. Zara stepped toward it. A voice cut through the air. Don't move. A flashlight beam stabbed across her eyes. She raised her hands. A woman emerged, armed and steady. Not afraid. Not surprised. You're marked, the woman said. Who sent you? No one sent me, Zara replied. I'm trying to survive. The woman stared a moment longer before lowering the weapon slightly. They're going to follow you here. They always track their marks. Her voice held grit sharpened by trauma. Get inside. The cabin was filled with technology that did not belong in the woods. Screens showing scrambled surveillance feeds. Walls covered with maps, strings, names that flickered as if the ink refused to stay still. The woman tossed Zara a glass of water. Her gaze narrowed on the mark. How long since the symbol appeared? Today. Then you still have time. Time before what? Zara asked. Before it stops being a mark, the woman leaned closer, searching Zara's eyes. And becomes a lock. Once it seals, they can rewrite you from the inside out. Zara's throat tightened. Who are you? The woman hesitated. Her jaw flexed like she had to force the words out. My name was. She didn't sound convinced. The government listed me as dead 2 years ago. The collectors wanted me gone because I uncovered something they never expected a human to understand. What's that? Leah pointed to Zara's head. You aren't just their target anymore. You are their doorway. Zara stumbled back. No. I'm not a weapon. You're worse. Leah's voice softened. You're a threat. Before Zara could respond, the cabin lights buzzed sharply. The screens warped into static. The air thrummed like a heartbeat. Leah grabbed her gun. They found you faster than I thought. A shadow peeled from the wall. Tall. Quiet. Wearing the polite human shape like a costume stretched too thin. Leah fired. The bullet passed through the collector, hitting nothing. Smoke curled where the shot entered its body, but no wound appeared. The collector spoke without moving its jaw. You do not belong here. Zara's mark seared. Her vision split. For a second, she saw the world from the collector's eyes. Humans as flickering shapes. Thoughts as glowing threads. Fear tasted like electricity. Zara screamed and clamped her hands to her skull. The collector's smile widened like it enjoyed the pain. Leah shouted, "Fight it. They can see what you see." Zara forced her focus away from the fear and toward her anger. Toward her mother. Toward Rowan. Toward every erased name. Her mark pulsed once, violently. The collector staggered. Its smile twitched. Cracks splintered across its face. Leah stared in disbelief. You heard it. They're not supposed to feel. Zara breathed hard, a wild fire catching inside her. Then let's teach them pain. The collector retreated, dissolving back into the wall like ink sinking into fabric. Leah grabbed a satchel filled with devices Zara didn't recognize and slung it over her shoulder. This changes everything, Leah said. If you can break them, then we go after the vault. What's inside the vault? Leah answered with a single sentence. The only truth they can't erase. Outside, dozens of polite smiles waited in the dark. They weren't here to warn. They were here to end. The cabin shutters rattled as if the night itself had teeth. Outside, those fake smiling shapes waited in perfect stillness. Collectors. Dozens. Maybe more. Leah lowered the blinds with trembling hands. They won't storm us yet. They're waiting for orders. Zara's mark pulsed like a heartbeat that wasn't hers. She couldn't stop staring at her own hands. How she hurt one of them. How it felt like she had stabbed a universe. What's in the vault? Zara asked again, voice smaller than she wanted. Leah grabbed a tablet from the desk, fingers flying across scrambled files that seemed to glitch under her touch. The vault holds what the collectors erased from humanity. All the truths humans were never meant to remember. Images flickered across the screen. Cities made of stone and lightning. Humans with metallic veins. A sky split open like a cracked mirror. Millions of people screaming without sound. Zara's stomach turned. We did that. Leah shook her head. We learned something. A secret that broke the world. The collectors erased the event, rewrote history, stripped humanity back to a safer ignorance. Safer for who? Zara asked. A new voice answered. For everyone. Zara spun as a man stumbled from the back room. Unshaven. Pale. Confused. His hospital bracelet still on. Rowan. Her breath stopped. He looked straight through her. Not recognition. Not hate. Just nothing. Leah steadied him. They wiped every memory tied to you and what he was about to uncover. Zara stepped closer. Rowan. It's me. Zara. He stared like she was a stranger from a dream he couldn't quite catch. Why do I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere else? A thunderous vibration rippled through the cabin, knocking papers to the floor. The mark on Zara's palm began to glow, etching lines up her arm like a map unfurling under her skin. The screens around them cracked. Leah's eyes widened with terror. They're opening the door. Zara gasped as a vision tore through her mind. Not like before. Stronger. Clearer. A massive underground chamber. A tree of petrified roots twisting into a sealed monolith. A voice calling her name from inside the stone. She staggered. Rowan caught her instinctively. For a second, his eyes widened like a memory tried to break free. Collectors pressed closer around the cabin. They don't want us reaching the vault, Leah whispered. No, Zara felt the truth rising like fire in her throat. They want me to open it. A crack of lightning lit the windows, revealing the collectors' faces all turning towards Zara in flawless unison. Leah grabbed Rowan and her pack of stolen tech. We run now or we die here. Zara looked once more at the men who used to be her friend. The ache in her chest twisted into something sharper. She wasn't just their target. She wasn't just their doorway. She was the key. And keys were made to unlock something. She clenched her marked hand and stepped into the storm. Let them chase. Rain hammered the forest like the sky was trying to drown the night. Zara, Rowan, and Leah tore through the trees while the collectors followed without footsteps, without breaths, gliding like shadows remembering how to be human. Every time lightning flashed, their smiles looked closer. Leah shoved Rowan ahead. He can't keep up. His mind isn't stable yet. Zara grabbed Rowan's arm. His skin felt cold, unfamiliar. Rowan, please. You know me. Some part of you does. He stared at her for a heartbeat. Something flickered behind his eyes. Then a sudden wave of pain knocked him to his knees, clutching his head like something inside was trying to rewrite him again. Leah scanned the darkness. They're overriding his memory wipe. They want him back under control. Collecting him again. Zara's mark burned hotter. The forest around her blurred. Roots glowed beneath the soil like veins leading in one direction. The vault. Leah, she said through clenched teeth. It's calling me. A branch snapped, not from weight but from intention. Collectors stepped into the clearing. Silent, smiling, still. Rows of them. The lead collector spoke without mouth or sound. You are the threshold. Open the vault. Leah positioned herself between them and Zara, gun raised even though she already knew bullets meant nothing. Back off. Rows of heads tilted in eerie synchronization. Humanity is not ready to remember. We preserve peace. You protect chaos. Zara's pulse thudded like a countdown she didn't set. Images flashed again. Rowan laughing beside her in a life he no longer knew. Names erased from existence. Cities buried under rewritten history. That voice inside the vault whispering freedom. She stumbled back, shaking her head. I won't help you control us. Not anymore. The collectors all smiled wider. You misunderstand. You have never had a choice. A seismic rumble cracked the ground. The roots beneath Zara's feet surged upward, dragging her into a burst of blinding light. Rowan screamed her name, raw, terrified. Zara. Collectors lunged for him. Her mark exploded with white fire. A shockwave blasted outward, hurling the collectors like broken puppets and freezing the ones further away mid-stride. Rowan crawled to her, shaking. Zara, what did you do? She looked at her glowing hand. I chose. The forest fell dead silent. Then the voice returned, inside her mind, inside the ground, inside the storm. The door is open. Finish what they fear. The collectors began moving again, faster this time. Zara turned to Leah and Rowan, eyes blazing with a desperate purpose. We go to the vault. Right now. Before they shut me down from the inside. Leah nodded once. No hesitation. Then we run into hell. Rowan swallowed hard, still lost yet tethered to her. If you're going, he said, breath shaking, I'm going too. The lightning above cracked into a symbol. The same mark as the one on Zara's skin. The truth wasn't waiting anymore. It was coming. The entrance to the vault was older than language. A door not carved, but grown. Stone roots twisted into an impossible lock. The mark on Zara's palm pulsed to the same rhythm. Rowan stood beside her, rain soaking him through like grief. Leah checked the perimeter, breath sharp and fast. Collectors swarmed at the tree line. Polite smiles. Empty eyes. Zara placed her hand on the vault. The monolith shuddered. Rowan grabbed her wrist. Zara, You really don't have to do this. Yes, I do. His jaw clenched. Fear and love twisted into something he didn't know how to name. I can't lose you. I already lost you once. Zara smiled, soft and aching. You never really did. The vault opened. A blast of memory roared outward. History surged through every mind at once. Humans discovering a truth that shattered reality. A war against an enemy no one can remember. Humanity begging to forget. And the collectors born to make them forget. Billions of screams. Then silence. Then ignorance. A mercy dressed as extinction. Zara staggered, clutching her head. We did all this, we destroyed ourselves. The collectors stepped closer. You see now why we protect you. Leah aimed her gun, voice breaking. By erasing us. By saving you from yourselves. Rowan pulled Zara behind him. There has to be another way. There is, Zara whispered. She looked at the mark and suddenly knew the truth. The door didn't need a key. It needed a sacrifice. Leah realized it too. No. Zara. Stop. Zara stepped into the vault's radiance. Light wrapped around her like chains made of memories. Her bones felt like they were dissolving into the truth itself. Rowan lunged to grab her. She pressed her forehead to his and held him one last time. I remember you. A tear slipped down his cheek. He choked out, please don't. She kissed the tear away. You deserve a world that gets to remember love. She placed his hand over her heart. Then she pushed him away. Collectors surged forward, but the vault dragged them back like gravity made of justice. Light swallowed Zara whole. For a heartbeat, she was everything. All forgotten lives. All erased voices. All truths buried under fear. She screamed, not in pain. In defiance. The mark shattered. A shockwave tore through the valley. Collectors disintegrated like lies being corrected. The vault sealed shut forever. Leah collapsed to her knees. Rowan stared at the empty space where Zara stood, hollow. Rain fell again. The storm finally grieving. The world kept turning. Rowan looked up at the stars that suddenly felt farther away. Zara. His voice broke. No whisper answered. Police found Leah and Rowan at dawn. No signs of collectors. No erased files. No missing people. Humanity woke up remembering what was taken. And wishing they could forget. Rowan stood alone on the ridge. The wind shifted. He could have sworn he heard her whisper. Every truth has a cost. A single glowing mark flickered on his palm. Just once. Then silence. Thank you for exploring the shadows with me. If stories like this awaken your curiosity, then you belong here with us. Hit subscribe so you never miss what waits in the dark. Drop a comment. Tell me what stayed with you. And share this video with someone who loves a little mystery.